Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Ascension Presents. So I was talking with someone recently, and we were, not just me, but it was a group of us who were trying to help them. You know, it was a kind of situation where they were in kind of a bad situation where they were in a bad situation, and we were trying to, as best we could, as a group of people, Christians, Catholics, gathering around them, remedy the situation. Every time we had on the verge of being able to really kind of help, really kind of, yeah, I guess help is the best word. I don't know, me being super vague right now. They would stop short of allowing us to help, and they would say these words. Well, I know, but I just don't want to be a burden. That was the thing. I just don't want to be a burden on you guys. Maybe you've said those words. Maybe you've heard those words of someone that you were trying to love, you were trying to care for, you were trying to help. And they said, yeah, but I just don't want to be a burden. That makes sense. I want to say a moment about that because I want to take a moment to say something about that. That person who said, I don't want to be a burden, was actually being very conscientious, right? They were saying, I don't want to excessively burden these people. You seem nice. I don't want to have to make you kind of deal with the stuff I have to deal with. I got this mess I'm in my life. I don't want to spread my mess into your lives. That's conscientious, right? That's or can be. Keep this in mind. That can be conscientious. That can be very thoughtful. It can be, in a certain sense, loving of them to say, you know what, I don't want to be an excessive burden. And I'm aware of the fact that the stuff I'm dealing with is my stuff, and it will cost you something, right? I mean, that's very conscientious of them and kind of them. At the same time, here's the big issue. Everyone is a burden. I mean, to be in relationship with anybody is to carry their burden. So if I were to say, I don't want to be a burden on X or Y or Z, I don't want to be a burden on these people around me. Ultimately, what I'm saying is, I can be in a certain kind of relationship with you where I offer you something, but you never get to give me anything, right? That's what I'm saying. It's because every one of us, if we ever get to the kind of relationship, now we're not meant to be burdens for everybody, obviously. We have to discern what kind of relationships and what level of this and what's appropriate. But if I never get to a point in any relationship where I'm actually a burden to them, then I'm not really in relationship. Because everyone's a burden. If you're really in relationship with someone, it will cost them something. It's like this. Let me say it another way. You are hard to love. This is just the truth about you. You are hard to love. I'm hard to love. Now, sometimes we're really good at being surface, and we're really good at being easy to love. We're good at being easy to be around. That's a gift. That's nice. It's wonderful. But when it comes down to it, every one of us is hard to love. Every one of us is a burden. Why can I say this? Well, because A, all of us are broken. But B, because love always involves sacrifice. True love, real love, I mean, not like true love like Disney. I mean real love, actual love will always involve sacrifice. It will always, at some level, involve a degree of suffering. Ever since the fall, it will involve some degree of, I have to say no to myself and my will in order to will your good. Remember, the definition of love is willing the good of the other, choosing the good of the other. And so if I'm going to truly love someone, to truly choose their good, I may at some points, have to let go of what I want so they can have what they need. Every one of us is difficult to love. Every one of us is a burden. But here's the incredible thing. In light of Jesus, in light of the Lord, in light of our God, one of the things that he reveals, because cast all your burdens on him, he cares for you. He carried us as a burden. That he carries not just our sins, he carries us as a burden. And what does he say about you? He says, yeah, you're a burden. You're a burden worth carrying. Yes, you're difficult to love, but you're worth loving. This is what one of the truths that should come through every single time we pray, every single time we go to Mass, every single time we look at a crucifix, every time we pray, every time we talk to God, every think of God. One of the things we realize is God, I'm difficult to love, but you still love me anyways. God, I'm a burden, and you believe that I'm a burden worth carrying. To take that reality, that truth, into our prayer at all times, to be able to say, God, I'm tough to love, but you still believe that I'm worth loving. God, I'm a burden, I understand, but you believe I'm a burden worth carrying. Because we have to marry these two things together. One is I'm a burden. If I just left it there, I'm like, yeah, I'm a burden, and I can't be in a relationship with anybody because no one can truly love me because I'm a burden, and no one should love me because I'm a burden. On the other hand, we could only take this one and say that I'm worth carrying. I'm easy to love. No, get that out of here. No, you're not. You are difficult to love, but you're worth loving. You're a burden that is hard to carry, but you're worth carrying. Galatians says, bear one another's burdens out of reverence or out of love for Christ. So there are going to be relationships in my life that I'm not able to carry their burden. I'm not able to pay the cost it takes to love that person. Sometimes our human love fails. But we're still called to do two things, at least, with each other. One is to share our burden, to let ourselves be loved even when we're difficult to love. And in response, to also bear one another's burdens and love each other even when we're difficult to love. Who is a person in your life that you know simultaneously they're difficult to love, but you also know that you're called to love them? There might be people in your life that are difficult to love that maybe that's where they're supposed to stay. I'm not sure. But who is someone, what's one relationship where they're tough to love, but you know you've been asked to love them? Where is one place, who is one person that you could reach out to now and say, not out loud, say, you're tough to love, but I love you anyways. But you can say, I know, they're a burden. But you know what? I know this. They're a burden worth carrying. You're a burden, but you are a burden worth carrying. At least that's what every crucifix says. For all of us here at Ascension Presents, my name is Father Mike. God bless. Like, subscribe, comment below. You know how it goes.